Welcome to What the Sports. I'm your host, TJ Carpenter, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA. That's right, things are already heating up in China. Well, that's not actually true. You can't watch NBA games in China anymore because China. On Sunday, Houston GM Daryl Morey apologized to the approximately 1.4 billion Rockets fans that he offended by tweeting support for protests in Hong Kong. In reality, it was just the Chinese government. But if you were unaware, China loves the Rockets. Mainly because Yao Ming played 17 games over a 9-year span, making 10 All-Star games. After Daryl's very offensive tweet seen here, yeah, super offensive. I mean, I can see how somebody would be offended by that. Just terrible. I cannot imagine somebody not looking at this tweet and being offended. How could you not be offended by this? This just seems so offensive to everybody all over the world, especially in China, because it's so offensive to China. And the NBA came out and said, whoa, Daryl Morey does not speak for the league. This offensiveness that's not us. Let's not be so hasty here, China. Just hold on a second. Daryl Morey does not speak for us in his clearly offensive support of people. Glad to know the NBA will stand up against the forces of injustice in the world that prevent them from making lots and lots of money. To be fair to the NBA, they did eventually say, hey, freedom of speech is more important than making lots of money. But really, we only did that because everyone in America got really pissed off. You know that you fucked up when Keith Olbermann and Clay Travis agree on something. The NBA really fucked up. And they apologized for their apology to China. But only after Daryl Morey apologized, the Rockets apologized, James Harden apologized, James Harden's beard apologized. For some reason, I don't know why he needed to apologize or his beard needed to apologize, but they both did. And after the owner of the Nets gave everybody a history lesson that was not necessary, and also said that America still owes China for their assistance in World War II. That's right. As though Japan was not an existential threat to everyone. Yes, for some reason World War II is relevant to NBA broadcast rights in China. And also letting America know that they should feel very guilty about Great Britain and the Opium Wars in the 1800s. That's right. How many people did you piss off, Great Britain? In a 200-year time span, you managed to piss off the entire world. That's hard to do. The whole world is mad at you for things that you've done centuries ago. You deserve Brexit. And you also gave Ted Cruz an excuse to talk about sports, which no one wants. No one wants Ted Cruz's hot sports takes. And now no one in China gets to watch Rockets games anymore, which is very sad. What are all these single, lonely, depressed men going to do now? What are they gonna watch on the couch with their sex robots? Sailor Moon? What are they gonna watch? I don't even think Sailor Moon's allowed in China. Take the NBA away from them, what are they gonna watch? State-run TV? Baseball? I will say though, nothing gets Xunhua in the mood for some action than Ice Fantasy. By the way, Ice Fantasy, I looked this up on IMDb, shot 62 episodes in season 1. Game of Thrones barely got 62 episodes in the entire series and it took them 10 years. Step your game up, HBO. Seriously, China, you're going to take away one of the only enjoyments you've allowed these sad, lonely single men to have in life, all because you're too insecure to ignore a mildly supportive tweet from an NBA GM most people didn't even know existed until today. As far as I can tell, people just wanted to watch basketball and not have their basic human freedoms and rights infringed upon. And money and power once again got in the way. Here's to hoping that someday we can all enjoy people voting for Yao Ming into the All-Star game 7 years after he played in the league and watching NBA games in the dark with our sex dolls together. Because that is what being human is all about.